Hello, we're live. Well, I hope you guys can hop on over to this other link because, yeah, I set up the timer and I had it all set up. And then this morning it said I needed to paste into an encoder. So I hope you guys can switch on over to this link to I saw that everybody was making conversation already, and I read some of the comments. I had it all set up yesterday, and I thought everything was great, and I was really hoping I knew what I was doing, but I don't know. It looked like there's another. Hello, Meredith. Thank you so much. Yeah, Meredith is someone who's been reading, watching away from, in her own time and not during the live. So it's good to see you here. So thank you all for coming. And I wanted to give a tip. I had to turn my sound off of my phone during my class. I don't know if you guys do this. Hello, Casey. There's a little button inside here that you can turn the ringer off that my kids kind of told me about. So this morning I was like during the night, obviously you want I don't know if the alarm works. Maybe the alarm works through it. I don't know. But during the night, I don't like to turn it off. But during the class, thank you, Kelly. During the class, I went ahead and turned it off because it was beeping like crazy. It was beeping between people talking on the group and priority bookings and updates and everything else. It just kept going ding, ding, ding. So that little tip I thought I might share, that you can turn off the sound on your phone. Just be sure to turn it back on when you need it, because sometimes I'll put my phone down, I don't know where it is, and it has no sound. Hello, Tasha. Hello, Evelyn. Thank you for coming. Danny. Hello, Amanda. Laura, thank you for coming. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a really great time. And I had a great time with my family. My daughter cooked, and I'm going to be honest with you. I felt really bad because after I went home, I realized I didn't do that much. I mean, I was kind of like, I did the rolls and I made a cornucopia. Some of you may have seen my video that I made. I made it with a few kids from the school, and I didn't want to put them in it because now all these new things about kids. So, but we had a great time, and I have these kids adopted into a large family. There are 8 of them. The husband and wife, they have like, I think 4 or 5 kids between them. And then they have 8 adopted kids, and they're getting some more. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. So it's really amazing how God can put people together, because I have a big family and I have 13 kids. And, when you're from a big family, a lot of times you get comments. And I told this man right out, I said, you are a hero because you've adopted all these kids. If you actually have your own children, you're not as much of a hero in America right now. I told him that people usually think that we just increased our carbon footprint, by having all these kids. But if you rescue the kids, you're awesome. So anyway, we laughed about it because I can be honest with him about stuff like that. And yeah, we have a kind of a cool relationship. But I feel very honored to be able to work with these kids. And some of them have some special needs, and they are not majorly academic. So they don't always obviously, a lot of kids don't like schoolwork, let's face it, but they do have some academic challenges. And so we also do home ec, we do sewing. Mostly we've done sewing, but this year we went to make the cornucopia, and they sent 2 home and stuff. So they made the best cornucopias that I've ever made. I've done home ec. This is my 7th year. And a friend of mine told me about the cornucopia, and her family does the cornucopia as a family project every year for Thanksgiving. She also makes them and sells them for people that want to order them for their Thanksgiving table. And so she gave me the idea. And then when I went online, I realized this is a thing. You know, there are many videos about making this bread dough cornucopia. It's really cool. And some of you, like Evelyn, you have younger kids. This might be a fun tradition for you. And it's very inexpensive. I just got the frozen bread dough, but you can also make your own bread dough. And you can do it with that also. This year I used the wheat bread and that really worked well. I think that was probably better because it's kind of a thicker consistency, but it was just, they came out really good. And it's a really good family tradition. Now, my mother, through the years, has always been a really good roll maker. Hello, Holly. And so she has made rolls like through the years, going to celebrations, she would bring the rolls. So when I found out about the cornucopia, I thought this is great. So now that's kind of my thing, is I'll go and bring the rolls. And so I brought the rolls with the cornucopia and everything. So I wanted to show you a few pictures. Some of you are not on my face. I thought I might share. This is a picture of my family. There are 2 husbands here and 4 grandkids and 9 of my kids that were at Thanksgiving. And then it was kind of cool because throughout the day, we were able to talk to these 3 that were able to get together in Georgia. And my daughter, Naomi, is getting married in August, and she's living in Georgia and going to school. She's pursuing nursing. And these 2, one is going to school in South Carolina, and the bottom one is going to school one's in South Carolina, one's in Florida. Did you show your video to your kids or VIPKID? I'm not sure. Did I show my video? I just put my video on YouTube. I didn't show anybody other than anybody that watched it. So this is my daughter that's in South Carolina. She couldn't come. And this is my other son that is in Colorado. And I told them, send me a picture because I'm going to put together a family video of the day. I just haven't gotten it all together yet. This is my grandson. He's named after my dad, who is the most amazing man ever. And he's adorable. This little kid's adorable. He got into the cake. We all sat down. It's a tradition to watch Elf. So we were watching TV and he got in. All of a sudden it's like, where's Freddie? You know, and I'm like, oh my goodness, where is he? I'm like freaking out. His dad's looking for him, and he was under the table. He got into the chocolate cake and had frosting all over him. And then he wanted to just like rub it on everyone. It was so funny. And it's like, it's much better to be a grandmother in situations like that because you can just laugh and the parents have to go clean it up. So it's like, that was so funny. It was really cute. But I was so tired. I did teach on Thanksgiving. I taught 5 classes. And then I taught yesterday morning 5 or 6. And then last night I taught 4 classes. And this morning I taught 5 classes. Thank you, Amanda. This is my husband who he has a tradition of putting every little kid to sleep. Is when they're the age that will tolerate it. And that's the youngest little monkey. He is huge. He's almost like 30 pounds. He's like the biggest baby ever. And this was my daughter's cheese table. This is some of my older kids. They took these pictures. I don't even know if I even got a picture of myself. I think my daughter got a picture of me sitting on the couch taking a nap. This is the pie. And this is my other grandson. His father is from Mexico. So yeah, he's adorable. This is her. She's the aunt. So, and there's my kid with the grandson. And my kids do great with the grandkids. They're just amazing. So this was me. I think I had that one on Facebook. This is me with a little bow in my hair because I have a student that wears those bows, and someone gave me some of these headbands. This is yesterday. We had a game day, and this was a Jenga. We did pretty good. That bottom one has only one. This is my friend, and there was only one Jenga block in the base of that thing. So I've had a good weekend. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's kind of a tradition to watch Elf. Now, I'm the mom of 13 kids. I was very strict and very, very much into all the rules and train them to be perfect people, which they didn't become, but they don't want to be perfect for some reason, but they're awesome. I love them all, but they decided they would watch Elf. And the first year they pulled that movie out, I was so appalled. I was like, that is the worst movie. I can't believe any grown man would wear that outfit. And I was just, in some of the parts in that movie, I was just like, this is terrible. This is terrible. I can't believe that they would even put a movie out like this, but once you watch the whole thing and you get the idea of it, and it is pretty funny. So I've kind of lightened up a little bit. So yeah, so they watch it, and I didn't really end up watching the entire thing from beginning to end, but I saw parts of it. So it is pretty funny, and it's kind of an interesting little story. But anyway, on to VIPKID, right? So I wanted to congratulate everyone who has gotten a iPad for the holiday. I have a question. Why do you choose to teach on an iPad? You stream from your computer. I find the camera quality is less on the iPad. Maybe mine is just old. Yours is just old, Danny. The camera on the iPad is amazing. There is it's a ability. You can't live stream from the iPad or the cell phone, from what I understand. So I'm absolutely mobile device. You cannot go live on a mobile device until you have like 1,000 subscribers. I think that's what it is. That's what I read somewhere. And so I love my computer. I got my computer and I've been using it. I upgraded from the to the Catalina. There's like a new operating system. And I upgraded, and ever since I upgraded, I've had problems. And so, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about today. When I use the iPad, I have it right here. Mine's an older one. Mine's an iPad Air. And so this is something I already had. I did not go out and buy an iPad for VIPKID. The battery on mine it could probably do like 6 classes in a row, but some people have newer iPads and they can go for like 10. Yeah, I saw that you put that up, Danny. I saw your video that you put up. I did not watch it yet, but it looked good. Yeah, we have trees everywhere around here, so I don't really care about fresh Christmas trees, because up here they're like $100. So I'm probably going to look for a good fake one. I usually get a fake one every couple of years, every 4 or 5 years. So I don't mind the fake one because I live in trees. Like, trees surround my entire house. So I'm like, I just don't like all the pine needles and the mess that it makes inside and all that kind of stuff. And in order to get a good one, you have to pay a lot of money. So I'd rather put that money towards a gift or something. But that's just me. So anyway, in order to say you get up in the morning, you want to teach. In order to get into your iPad, all you have to do is turn the thing on. And then you go to the HD app. And I'm going to say this like every video. because people get new iPads and they don't realize, why can't I go into their computer? Now, Danny, some people can get trees for free in my area because they might live on a property that has trees. But if you're going to buy one, yeah, it's going to be a lot of money, 100 or more. So anyway, back to VIPKID. So you need the HD app, which is like has a white corner, and you just click on it. Now, right now I'm at the what happened slide. But in the middle, you're going to have this button. You have a house, you have a calendar, and you have a arrow thing. And then here's my next class. And that's how quick it is. So like say you're in a rush, you just got in the house from going somewhere, you run to your station and all you have to do is press 2 buttons, you're in the class. Now what I've been doing, especially for you new people that haven't used your iPad yet, there are different, like when you sign into the iPad and you get into the classroom, there are different lines and your face is going to look different in different classrooms on the lines. And on the iPad group, there is a girl who took a picture of herself in every line. So you can check that out. And line 8 is the best line. So yeah, Kelly, you can get in so fast. Like I did it a few times one summer. I'm like rushing in, press the button, you're in. And line 8 is the camera is the clearest. I don't know why. I don't know all the technical reasons why, but what I have been doing is when I go into the classroom, I go in more than 1 minute before, because if you go in at 1 minute, they press the start class and then you have to press the start class to do anything. So before that, you can press line 8. So the top right-hand corner, there are different lines and you press the middle button. It will give you a drop down of your line choices and you press line 8. So every time I've gone into class, I make sure I'm on line 8 to start with, and then I'm good to go. And I also wanted to share that you want to cover your camera, because I'm pretty sure they can see you even though the camera button is pressed off, they can still see you. So I just take a little sticker thing. I take any little thing like a sticky note, or I usually use the sticky tack stuff, and I just put this over the camera so that they can't see me because I might blow my nose or fix my hair or something. And so that's another thing I wanted to share. Hello, Morgan. Thank you, everyone. Give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who's been watching my lives and coming to the lives. And so I just shared a lot about the iPad. The iPad is a great plan for your second, if you use your computer all the time, the iPad is great in case something happens. Looking at iPads for Christmas, $250. Yeah, they're expensive, but when I got these iPads, they were more than that. They were like $800 or something just for a regular. I might get my little reader son a Kindle. Kindles are awesome. I have read books I had a Nook. I went on a trip and a friend of mine gave me an old Nook that she had, and I thought, well, I'll try it. It was really awesome. The thing about the Kindle too is that you can have one account on more than one device. So that could work for you. It could work against you. Like with kids, you might have books you don't want them to read. I don't know. But, you can, like for my friend, she could give me her account and we could share books without any, paying anything, which was nice. But there are also a lot of free books that you can get that you don't have to pay for, which is really cool. So I really like the Kindle. I have a few books on my iPad. You can do an iPad Kindle app, a Nook app, and you can get a lot of free books. So it's really cool. And so like going on a trip, you can just take your iPad or your Kindle or your Nook or whatever, and you've got all the books you want to read. And it works out pretty well. It's different. It's different than holding a book, but yeah, you can put a Nook app on your iPad, and you can put a Kindle app on your iPad. Yes. And you can also get free books from your library. Our library has an whatever it is, account, and you have to know your library card number, and then you can borrow books from the library, put it onto your device, and you have it for like a week or two or whatever. And so you can do that too. So there are ways to read books without spending a dime. Recently, with my kids, I've been doing, we have to drive 30 minutes to school. This is something you could also do at home, like maybe have a quiet time and just do books on YouTube and just listen to books. So recently we've done My Side of the Mountain. Yeah, the library's becoming obsolete, but on the other hand, nothing can replace, books. My daughter is a bookworm. She's 17 and she just loves books. We have a local secondhand bookstore that's going out of business, and she went and got a stack of like 15 books. They were awesome. So yeah, so I think it will make it so libraries aren't as frequented, but it also makes it doable for us. Like I realized a lot of this when I homeschooled, because my kids needed a certain book and I didn't want to buy it, or I didn't have a car, couldn't get out. So we just figured it out. We put it on the iPad, or we put it on the Kindle or whatever. And so you can also, in our state, you could check into this, but in our state, you can go online to our state library. You can see what books they have. You can order books. They will send them to you in the mail for free. And they will give you a envelope that is self-addressed, self-stamped, for you to put the books back in the bag or folder, and you put them in your mailbox and send them back. And that's all free in our state. So you can look into that. Your state might do it too. I did that a lot when I homeschooled and I didn't have a lot of money, and I just went online and I read a lot of books about homeschooling and studies that people did about people that taught in the public school and then they homeschooled later. Or there was one guy that taught in New York City, and he did a study on taking the kids out of the city and bringing them on field trips, and how that helped their intellectual ability and all that stuff. So yeah, so you can do a lot of different things. You can do the digital library rental on your phone, or you can also order books and have the actual book sent to your house, and that was all free. You just had to, register yourself somehow, but it was all free through the state. So you could check into that. That's great if you're doing a study on a topic that you don't want to buy all the books, but you want to have access to the books. So like I said, I did a lot of study on homeschooling and the benefits and all that stuff. And it was really good. I learned a lot. And I can remember my kids, usually when I homeschooled, I really did everything I could to get everything done in the morning. And then we have lunch, and then we'd have quiet time and we'd read and stuff in the afternoon. And I just needed quietness. And, so that's what I did. I did a lot of reading at that time. So back to Danny's question, why do I use the iPad? Now, I am still in a quandary because I would like to upgrade my equipment, but money is a factor. And I have this MacBook Pro, which works great for this. but it was having a problem. Like when I was going into my classes for VIPKID, I would be in the class and then it would switch to the old classroom. So I didn't have the AR stickers and all that fancy stuff anyway. Or I'd be in the classroom for a while and it would switch and something happened, and it seemed like my computer gave me more stress than the iPad. And so it's been in the last week that I've gone back to the iPad to just see how it goes. And it's been going very well. The other thing I wanted to tell you, if you are going to use your iPad and you would like to use, I'm going to say this a lot in my iPad group because there's a lot of new people coming in to VIPKID and they're coming into the iPad group. So the first thing is you want the HD app. I recommend 2 devices. I recommend have a computer and an iPad, because if one fails, you have a second device. If you want to do classes on the computer, I would say have your iPad ready. But I would say, you know, have it ready and know how to use it. Like, it's not going to do any good if it's just sitting there and you have never used it and then you have 1 minute to figure it out. You know, you need to figure out how to use it and watch the videos, ask questions on the group, be confident, because like if you're late to class, you get a teacher no-show. I was in a class, my internet went out and I couldn't hook up to the internet fast enough with my iPad and I got a teacher no-show, even though I was online with the fireman, which was a bummer. So I was online with the fireman and he said, I'm sorry, I had to give you a teacher no-show. And I'm like, the reason I didn't cancel is because I had the iPad and I knew how easy it was to get online. But there was another problem. Yeah, thank you, Evelyn. There was another problem, was maybe there was an update at some point. And so I also have another video on my iPad group. This little 9-year-old girl had a video. There will be times where you may have to do a system update, and it's called system reset. Okay, and so she walks you through how to do that. So that's what I needed to do. Even though my hotspot was the same, my password was the same, I had to do a system reset. And so the video, I went through all the steps and the video worked for me. So I wanted to share that too, that if you have the iPad sitting there, you haven't used it in a while, check and make sure it can do everything you want it to do. Don't wait until it's an emergency. Like for me, it actually took me, you know, let's see, it took me about an hour to figure it all out because I was home from school and I figured it out. But it wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have gotten into the class, unfortunately. So make sure you check your equipment. I would say have 2 devices, 2 ways to get online. Like if you have your house internet and then have a hotspot or a data plan or some other way to go online. Don't just leave it up to one chance, because, I mean, you know, all summer, my first 1,000, I had 1 device and 1 way to go online. But maybe you could work towards that, work towards having more solid, you know, system, because things can happen. All right, so that's what I wanted to say, you know, and when you're using your iPad, just keep in mind you don't have the AR stickers, you don't have any of the extra computer graphics types things. So just have some things ready. And I don't know if my kids miss it or not. Like they don't really make any, you know, they go along with the lesson like normal. I was using the AR stickers, but I do have some dolls here. I got, you know, my dino here and all that stuff. Yeah, no beauty filter. Okay, so this is a really good beauty filter. CoverGirl, You just take it out and you go like this. And it, kind of smooths out your little imperfections or whatever. Put on some eyeliner, some good, darker lipstick, because the color will come out and kind of take the focus off of anything else you don't want them to see. But yeah, the beauty filter was nice. I'm just figuring out how to do my lights. I was having a problem with my lighting. So, that could be a situation too where the lighting is different. But when I upgraded to Catalina, Danny, my external camera wouldn't work. I was getting all these audio glitches and I was having problems on my classes. So I went back to the iPad. So my question is, do I want a new updated MacBook, supersonic computer? Do I want a new iPad Pro? Because those are pretty cool. The iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil with the awesome keyboard. That's pretty cool too. So I don't know. I can't decide. So my daughter went to the Apple store because she needed a new phone. And you think it's my internet? You think it's my internet, Kelly? Well, the thing is, it happens when I'm at the school. It happens. I don't know. I don't think it's my internet because why would it be on my computer? Oh, okay. So anyway, yeah. So I was looking. Some people in the iPad group, they'll get an iPad and it has a data plan on it, and it's pretty cheap, and they just pay monthly. So I'm just kind of looking into my options, but right now everything's working and it's going okay. But you just have to remember that you don't have access to the extras. Now, when I go on to my class, I will be usually doing horizontal, which I don't really like. My first 1,000 classes, I did vertical, and that's all they had was vertical. Now, I don't know why, but there's a horizontal. So when you do it horizontally, I've had no problems. But sometimes when you do it vertically, you might get lines in your camera and you have to switch it to horizontal. And so when you have it horizontal, you don't have to switch it. So that's an issue. So that when you're watching, you're going to be on the left-hand side and the slides are going to be on the right-hand side, and your camera is going to be on the left. So you kind of have to position yourself in front of the camera. So you're a little bit, to the side. So that's a little bit something to get used to. Cindy, on the iPad, can you type in the chat box? You can type in the chat box. There will be a drop up kind of thing where you press the arrow, the keyboard comes up, you can type on it. That's a very good question. You can also get a Bluetooth keyboard, which is what I have. This is like a $20 Bluetooth keyboard, which works. I have an Apple one, but I lost a little battery thing. So I need to get, I don't think there's any way to charge that thing. I'll have to look at it again. It just takes 2 little batteries, and I lost the battery cover. So I'm going to replace that. I like the Apple one better. Yeah. You can type in the chat box. I don't do it a lot. I have been using my whiteboard a lot. Okay. So if I have a lot to do with a student, I use this almost every class. I used it for my level 6. We made a list of characteristics for heroes. This was a level, 3 maybe, for the sports, and we drew at the end, and this was us playing ping pong. And so I use my whiteboard a lot. So that comes in handy, and I think that's easier than typing in the chat box. But when I would do my feedback on my iPad, that keyboard was really awesome, your wireless keyboard, because you can type a lot better with, I think it's easier to use that than to use the iPad itself. So that's when it really came in handy, is if you're doing something other than a regular class. And you also want to get headset. There are people that are talking about headsets. I am going to watch the playbacks because I've done a lot of classes the last week without any headset at all. And then the last few days I've been using these, which has the earpiece and the microphone, and you plug it into the charger. So if you want to use something like this and you want to charge your iPad at the same time, then you need an adapter, which I don't have. Some people on my iPad group have given information on finding an adapter for it. And I have a friend that has like an adapter, and she can press in the charger thing, and she can plug in her headset at the same time. I have this headset for when I use my iPad. Usually when I do these lives, I wear that headset, but I forgot to put it on. All right. So anyway, then I wanted to say the iPad is awesome for traveling. And I don't know, I heard someone say, I thought maybe it was Evelyn, say that their internet wasn't as easy to hook up to the iPad, but I found it the opposite, that the iPad hooks up very easily wherever I go. And I used it when I went to Virginia. My family, they were up on a mountain. They didn't have any like internet. They just used like a hotspot of some sort that was connected to their phone, but they also had a hotspot thing, which I didn't even connect to. I used my own hotspot. So if your phone has good reception, then you can have a hotspot. Magic Ears is emailing. They must need teachers. Oh, awesome. So, yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, so for traveling, my iPad was great. And I wanted to talk to someone said that they didn't want to teach in their car. I had to, when I was in South Carolina, the house it's a big house, but we had a lot of people in it, and the walls are pretty thin, and there was no basement or anything. And they live in a pretty like populated neighborhood. And so I was like going to set up on the porch, but then I realized that it was kind of open, and I didn't really want to be in an open space like that. And it's kind of a big neighborhood. And so I said, I'm just going to go in my car. So I just set up in the car, and I made sure I had everything I needed. I did have a backboard that was like cardboard that I could put behind me so it wouldn't look like a car, but it was kind of cumbersome. And so I taught my classes. I don't know how many. For that week, I taught several classes, and I didn't have any problems. Nobody, complained about it, didn't get any bad comments. It was really funny, though, too. One of my classes was about the neighborhood, and I was able to turn the thing around, and I was able to show them the neighborhood. At one point, the sun was coming up. I was able to show the kid that the sun was coming up over the trees, and it was just gorgeous. It was in the summer, so it wasn't freezing cold, so that was a good thing. Yeah, so it's really doable. If you have one or two classes you have to teach, in a car. It was quiet. I think the biggest thing would be if you had to teach in public and it was noisy, like, I don't know if you just heard my dogs, but we're babysitting my daughter's dog as well. So we have two dogs in the house. So yeah, I don't know about Magic Ears. I don't know. I just really get a lot of classes for VIPKID, so I don't really need to really look somewhere else. I thought of GoGoKid just to, because all of this has all been a learning experience. So learning new things is okay. So if I do something more, it would be basically to learn new things. Although I haven't done Cambly yet. I signed up for Cambly and everything, but I just kind of chickened out because I don't know how the whole format works. I don't quite understand it. And I don't want to get stuck in a class with somebody and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's my biggest problem. It doesn't seem to be as structured, which can be good, can be bad, because it's like, what if I get somebody that wants something I don't have? So that was the thing. So yeah, I think that traveling is awesome. And I traveled all the way from New Hampshire to Virginia to South Carolina. I taught in all those places, Virginia, South Carolina, and I also went to Florida. We went to my daughter's graduation and we had an Airbnb. And the biggest problem I had there was the lighting, because the room was really, really dark. Because it was a little house and there were trees all around it. And there wasn't much inside the house for lighting. So I had to go out and get something. I don't know if I have it here. I have a flashlight, which I should have easily accessible, right? It's a long flashlight. I'll have to find it because it should be accessible right now in case the power went out, right? So I got this really major flashlight that you can charge it, and it has like a fluorescent light to it. And so that was the biggest thing for me, was the lighting. The internet was fine. The iPad worked fine. I was going to set up in front of this, it's like a sink type shelving unit. I thought, oh, that's really cool background. But the first kid that I taught was a regular of mine, and he kept looking behind me. So after that class, I went and got like a tablecloth and put it up. So there was nothing behind me. And I brought like this thing so that they would know, and a name tag, so they would kind of look a little bit familiar. So yeah. Have a list. Oh, okay, Kelly. A list of conversation starters. That's good. Meredith, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think VIPKID is very structured and you go through the slides and it's kind of a little bit intimidating, but you kind of have a plan. With Cambly, it's like you can get anybody from anywhere, do anything. And it just kind of like, I don't know. Plus, I don't have a lot of time. So I just need to try it and get more familiar with it. Plus, Cambly only pays $10 an hour, where VIPKID is, twice that. So you'd be surprised, Meredith, that the kids are so like, they're just happy with just so little, honestly. They just, I don't know. They're pretty amazing. So I think they just want to speak English. To them, that's reward enough. So, yeah. So Evelyn Joy, Cindy, you have a dog. Yes, I have a dog. We have a little Chihuahua, and then we're babysitting my daughter's dog today. We had 2 dogs. It's kind of a long story, but one got hit by a car. So we have just the little tiny Chihuahua that was a kind of a rescue dog, and it's not a majorly loved dog. We just kind of tolerate it, unfortunately. So I do Cambly during student no-show in VIPKID. So yeah. So Kelly, want to hear about that in your next live? Yeah, that would be great. So I also wanted to talk to you about a giveaway. So when I reach 100 subscribers, which that hasn't happened yet, so I'm feeling like I'm taking the snail's pace of this YouTube thing. But I'm hoping that I will get 100 subscribers. When I get 100 subscribers, I will make a video thanking everyone for joining my YouTube channel. And I am planning on using my $10 that I got from VIPKID for the VIPKID store. And I am going to be giving someone a whiteboard. Okay. Does anybody have a whiteboard? like this. I think most people don't. These are in the app, in the VIPKID store. You can buy one. You can buy them with Dino. Yeah, you can buy one. They only have a few things. They have a few shirts. They have the whiteboard. They have some puppets and stuff like that. So if you want the whiteboard, you can make sure that you watch that live, and I'll give you instructions. But it has to be when I make it to 100. So if you want to invite a friend or two to help me out, that would be great. And then I'll make a video and I will announce the giveaway, and then I will make it official and get it going. So I was thinking about doing it before 100, but then I decided I really want 100 subscribers because I want to change my URL, make it easier. So yeah, so that's what the plan is. So you can keep your eye on my subscriber number and let me know before I do, if I get to 100. So I don't know. I did not go shopping yesterday. I did not go Black Friday shopping. I have not spent any money on Christmas yet, other than a few decorations and stuff. Yeah, thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you can't hear my kids fighting in the background. Can you hear them? They were told to do some chores and their dad just left. Yeah. Danny, your channel's doing great. I've been keeping an eye on it and it's really awesome. Danny, I totally loved your video. What was it? The tag video. Yeah. The tag video is so awesome. I loved it. It could tell you put a lot of work into that. That was awesome. So, and I'm hoping to make a video about Thanksgiving with my family. Uh-oh. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for making the video, and thank you for including all of us. And I'm hoping this group is going to grow. That's what I'm hoping, that all of a sudden everybody's going here, everybody's going there, and we can just, I really think a lot of people just, maybe they don't know about it. They don't understand what's going on. And when they find out, they'll be hooked. That's my opinion. So, yeah. So I was talking, what I'm going to do for videos, I'm going to try and think about more specific videos on the iPad usage. And maybe that will help, because I've given a lot of information, but maybe it's not like organized enough so that people can really get the information in good steps and ways to understand. So yes, we have an awesome group of friends. Yeah, I appreciate you guys very much. Yeah. I really have enjoyed having some time off. I like to watch the videos like in the morning, either before school or during my lunch break, or if I have time off during the day. And if I don't get it, then I can always watch, like driving home in the car, things like that. Or even if I come home and I'm making supper, I can just put on a video. And a lot of times I'll just put my earbuds on and listen to the videos. And so usually I'm doing something else. Like I don't just sit around and watch YouTube all day. The hardest time for me is like when I'm actually doing it, because I can't really do something else. But when you guys are doing it, I'm doing feedback, I'm making breakfast, I'm usually multitasking. So yeah, so when you guys are doing it, I've got lots of things to do. So yeah. Yeah, Kim, I really appreciate your videos too. You have a lot of good content and a lot of good things to share. And I like your style. You have a really cool style. Appreciate it. Everybody has their own style, and it's really cool to watch how everyone is different and how we can all just, the whole idea is, I don't know, from the videos I've watched, it says be yourself and, do what comes natural to you and add little things here and there that might help increase the interest for people and have a group of following, a group of following that I think what we're doing right now is going to help all of us, just to share the word. And then when new people come into VIPKid, they don't have just one person that they know and they don't have to find it on their own. Once they connect with a group like ours, then they just have a wealth of information. And the thing I like about our group too is it's personal. Like we're not just following a celebrity. We are having a personal relationship with friends and people. And I think that is very helpful and fulfilling. And that's a part of, it's a part of the whole VIPKid that I did not expect to actually make really close friends. So I'm in a small world. Like I have my own kids, but when you have 13 kids, you don't really get out much. I have friends in the homeschool community, but my circle is kind of small because, I don't go far. I don't get out much. I didn't work, so I don't have coworkers and stuff like that. So when I go to work, I have maybe 15, 20 people I kind of work with, but we all work in our own little spots. And at the end of the day, we're anxious to go home. But with VIPKid, it's been kind of cool because I have met teachers with amazing stories. That's another video I think I would like to make. But that would have to be, with permission for people. But the stories that people bring to the table is amazing. We know some of them, but I asked on my iPad group, why did you come to VIPKid? What is your story? And, some people do VIPKid for a part-time job. They do it just, I think that would be great. I'd like to make a few extra dollars. Some people, it saved their life, because they had nothing and it saved their life and they were able to pay off some bills or they were able to stay home with their family and just things that it's completely, changed their life and saved it from destruction, like maybe some of you. And so the stories and the backgrounds and I've gotten to know Micah from the health and wellness, and he and I have talked a lot. And, he's a really awesome person. I would never have met him. I would have never talked to him personally if it weren't for VIPKid. And I'm also on a devotional series with Christina Garcia. She started it. I don't know. I think she put it on the Christian VIPKid group and I responded to it. And that's been a real blessing. And she comments in there. So I feel like I've gotten to know her personally. And so that's what I really like. I don't like to follow celebrities that I never actually talk to. I want to get to know people and know their story and know, who they are as a person. So that's been really awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So Evelyn says she has 144 followers. Awesome. Well, I read on one of the groups that somebody got 2 more followers. And so I went to my portal and I got 2 more followers too. I was like, wow, maybe they did a push to add new teachers to your following. I don't know. But I do miss some of my regulars. Do you have some of your regulars that you miss from the time change? I had one that he was awesome and he lived in China, but he did school in Hong Kong. And I always saw him on Saturday at 9. And I haven't seen him since. I had another boy that I haven't seen in a while in evenings. I had a girl that I used to always have at 9:30 on Saturdays, and I just taught her today for the first time since the time change. And obviously she was earlier in the day. So, yeah, so that's kind of hard with the time change and with the hour that was taken away, that has changed some of the regulars, but I've seen some of them come back, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm at 1.5 years too, Kim. I started last year, or it will be 2 years. I think it was March or April. I'll have to look to see my actual contract. My new contract starts December 1st. So December, January, February, March, April. So maybe May or something is when I signed on. But it's really weird because it looks like a lot of people signed on at that time. Maybe they did a lot of ads at that time because I signed on from a Facebook ad. I knew nothing about teaching online, nothing about VIPKID at all. I just saw the ad that said, if you have a teaching, 4-year degree, try it. So, yeah. So I do have a 4-year degree, but my certification is not up to date because I've never really needed it, and it costs a lot of money to keep everything updated. And if I'm not making money, I don't see why I should just keep some certificate updated, by just paying money and keep paying money. So I kind of let that go. Where I'm teaching now in New Hampshire, you don't need a teaching certificate for what I'm doing, although I do have the qualifications for it. So, Danny, you'd like my most recent video. It's a clip of me dancing to a level 1 song. I love level 1. I did a level 1 this morning. She was Mexican. So, yeah. So I just wanted to, I think that's kind of all I had to say. Yeah, I got to run to the grocery store. I sure watched the rap, Evelyn. Yeah. That rap was hilarious. But I do think you should have qualified at the beginning that you were teaching an older student because I know that if it's a younger student, we might feel less intimidated because, it's a little kid. But when it's an older student, you might feel like, yeah, this is kind of weird. But I've been surprised. A lot of my older kids, I'll say, do you want to sing the song? And they sing right along with me, or I'll sing the first word and then they continue singing. And they've been pretty good sports about singing, which you wouldn't think for such reserved kids. I had a really awesome class yesterday. It was all about what do you do and hobbies, and it was a free talk. So it was like, do you play chess? Do you play, do drama, stuff like that. And he played the piano. So at the end of class, he played me a song. So that was really cool. That's always awesome. And, sometimes you wonder if the parent will feel like, I don't want to waste my time. This is talking time. This isn't piano time, But the mom was helping him to get ready and to get in position and to play the song. And he was so proud about it. And so that was really awesome. And those moments are just so precious. And I don't know. I just can't. I'm just in love with this job still. Like, it doesn't go away. So, if anybody's watching this video and you wonder, would I like this job? There are some negatives to it, and you can watch videos that will share some negative aspects to it. But if you can just do it in time that works for you and not wear yourself out too much, and, get yourself into a routine so it's not totally consuming you. Like for me, I have certain props that I don't have to feel like, do I have enough props? Do I have, could I run in here? Could I do something all day, run in here 5 minutes before class and get going in class? Or do I have to spend an hour getting ready? I think at the beginning, that's the hardest thing is feeling like I have what I need, I'm ready, I've got things in place. But after a while, it gets easier. So, yeah. So I just really, really love this job, and I love to talk with you guys. And fortunately, it's going on to 60 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming and for watching. And I'm hoping to see that I'm going up to 100 subscribers really soon. And I will put out a video whenever that happens for the giveaway. So I will see you guys. You like my background? Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to add to it as time goes along. This is just like the little bit of start before Christmas. All right. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.